When it comes to automations, a lot of school creators are getting lost. They know how the funnel should look like and where you should map and move people, but when it comes to building the automation, they're finding out that there is too much and too many options and a lots of things to actually build. So either they end up doing nothing or just start building an entire system. And the big mistake is thinking that you have to build something really big before you even start. Multiple lead magnets, dozens of emails, tags, condition, and everything that you see on these YouTube tutorials that makes your head explode. And it's not that these things are wrong, it's just when you start or maybe you move to a new platform, these kind of things just adds lots of pressure and overwhelm and you just end up doing nothing. And in this video, I'll show you a way simpler approach. So instead of thinking about building and automating your business horizontally, we'll just pick one path and build the entire thing vertically, while everything else just waiting and getting added when it's needed. Think about it as laying only one road from stranger to client and building the entire infrastructure and exits and city and signs later. My name is Dennis, I run the Flows group on Skool, and this month I help the Skool creator move from one platform to another, basically moving all of his flows, all of his automations, funnels, email from one place to another, on top of adding more stuff that was essential. We had a very short deadline, so we had to prioritize things very carefully. And I'm going to walk you through that exact process, so by the end of the video you know exactly what is your main path, what is the 3-4 first emails you should write, and when to actually stop so you won't disappear into tech hell and just get lost. If automations feel overwhelming right now, this is your starter map. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I prepared the whiteboard, and the first stage would be just pinpointing the funnel, right? So what do we have is we have 4 stages. Maybe you have more, but most of the times it's just 4. Right, so the first we have the traffic source, which could be YouTube, right? You're watching this video on YouTube. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's ads, maybe it's X, Facebook, Instagram. I said Instagram already, perfect, doesn't matter. The main traffic source, where you find people and when you move. It's not really important at first because we're focusing on these, but we still have to know because some of them require nuances like YouTube. Well, not really. Maybe ManyChat, right? If you're using IG plus ManyChat, maybe if you're using ads, but still, it's good to know where your people are coming from, right? So the next step is the opt-in. So if you watch this video, you probably have a school group, right? So it could be your school group, right? Maybe you have a lead magnet outside of the group. So we have, let's say, lead magnet 1. Maybe you have another resource, which is lead magnet 2, and yeah, right. And it's another thing that bring people to your group. Then we have the conversion mechanism. It's how you sell your stuff, right? So you can't really rely on people joining and just buying. Probably you have something in the process that helps them do that decision. So either it's a sales call, right? Maybe it's a webinar. Maybe it's your school classroom. Yeah. Maybe you do that through DMs. Doesn't matter, right? You use something to help you convert, and you need those people to attend it, right? You need people to attend the sales call, you need people to sign up to the webinar, you need people to be on Skool to get your DMs and to watch your classroom. And lastly, the product, right? It's what are you selling? So let's say you have a low ticket membership and your high ticket service, right? So initially thinking about it, you have to build automations for each one of these, right? So when you start, you go like, okay, I have a school group, I have a lead magnet, and you started thinking, okay, I will just build a automation to deliver my lead magnet, then I'll build the automation to nurture my school people, right? So you start thinking and figuring out what you should do and how you should prioritize, but you're thinking about it horizontally. So it means that you're thinking about school lead magnet 1, lead magnet 2. But, and I'll show you the thinking process, how to do that horizontally and how to actually do that, because it's not really one automation, right? Doing Skool I mean, the opt-in and the delivery automation is not only one, and the sales call is not only one. It seems like one, but in fact, it's a lot of emails and lots of infrastructure. And when you start getting into it, which we'll get into it, it's starting to get confusing. So let's jump and talk about the delivery automations. Skool, right? I took Skool, for example, because we'll do Skool, then we'll do just another lead magnet. So what's the most important things is, right, we have to deliver. We have the first part of the automation is to deliver, and it's probably a warning, right? Send the first email, deliver, perfect. Next thing is nurture, right? You want to nurture these people, either just sending them a welcome flow or just sending them extra stuff and just building trust with these people. So let's say it's 3 more emails, right? It's not that simple anymore. Next is we want to move them to the next step. Next step, your conversion sequence, right? So, right, probably after they join Skool, you want them to you want to get them on a call. You want them to sign up your webinar. Still haven't thought about it yet. I mean, for the next step, and it doesn't really matter. But we have 3, which also adds one more layer to it. So think about it. If you have 2, and you should decide what to do, right? You can do both, or maybe you just start to building both, which is not the best and ideal way to do that. Okay. After that, we have the gaps, right? What do we mean by gaps is of the places your subscribers is falling out, right? So let's say, for example, they open up an email, then they just did not engage with the stuff, right? They did not click on the lead magnet. What do? You build another flow for that, right? Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you are. So yeah, that's one example. Second example, if they just go through the nurture sequence, go through the next step sequence, they finish this, and they still did not join the community. They still did not, not join the community. They still did not do the next step. So what do? We have the gaps for it. Or let's say, for example, they went to your calendar and did not book, and the automation just removed it, right? Could happen. So we have the gaps, and let's say another 3 emails. It's not 3 emails, it would be way more, but still, some people are building these. Okay, so that's only one, right? We have just the automation. We have 1, 2, 3, 9, let's say 10 emails just for the delivery of Skool, although we thought it would be like 5, right? And not necessarily, maybe you will want to combine these 2, right? But still, lots of emails. And if you do that horizontally, what's happening is, okay, give me a sec. Okay, perfect. So you have to do 2 of these, right? So we have the delivery on Skool, and then we have the lead magnet 1. So you have to build more automation like this, and it's probably won't be the same. You probably won't be able to use the same emails, right? Obviously not for the delivery, but for delivery it's obvious, but for the rest of them, maybe you won't use the same emails and use the same stuff, because right here they're already in your Skool group, and maybe the purpose of lead magnet 1 is to get people on Skool, right? Not necessarily book the second call. So the next step is different, and the gaps would be different too. So you'll have to build 2 lead magnets before you move on, which is not the best approach. So that's for lead magnets. Let's move to your conversion mechanisms. For example, it would be sales call. So what it is required? First of all, we have reminders. Right, you have to build the reminders, you have to send the reminders, and if people don't show up to your sales calls, well, it's bad. Second of all is the canceled, sorry, my English, and reschedule, right? And let's say no show. Actually, no show is not here. And lastly, it's the post event. So let's say you took the call, someone decides not to buy, you want to send them even more content, or maybe rebook the second call, then it's the post event, or let's say the no show, right? Could be the no show flow too. So once again, even more emails here, more emails there, and it is endless. So just to get someone on a call, you have to write at least 9 emails. I mean, if you're doing this horizontally, and not only, let's say you have a webinar too, right? Or you have a school classroom, you have to write more emails to get them engaged with that kind of stuff. So what's happening in the webinar? We have the sign up page, this sign up flow. I want them to sign up to the webinar, right? Then we have the reminders, the show up basically, sorry, reminders, the show up to increase your show up rates. And we have eventually the post event, which would be the conversion, right? For the people who did not buy, you want to send them another link, you want to send them more value, you want to restate everything that you just said, or just to deliver the replay. So the conversion sequence, right? And if you had a webinar and you want to start automating it, you have to build all of this. Again, this is another flow. This is another flow. And this is more emails. Maybe not necessarily 3. It could be more, it could be less. Doesn't really matter. Let's say 3, right? So we have these two. And again, if you do horizontally, you have to build all of these, and then you move to this, which takes a lot of time. And it's just hard, right? And yeah, people are not moving, basically. So next we have the confirmation, right? Thanks for buying. That's the thing. Go check it out. Do this, do that. We have the delivery, sending more content, explaining how to use, and yeah, basically the delivery of the lead magnet, the product itself. And lastly, we have retention, right? We want them to stay, so we want to send more content that's appealing to them. Maybe you want to get a testimonial from them. Everything that is after they bought and for their benefit / your benefit is retention. So we'll say 1, 2, 3. Sorry, the confirmation probably is 1, right? I want just end stuff. Delivery, let's say, 3 emails. And the retention, let's say 3, although it will be way more. Also, we have the gaps right here, right? If they get a confirmation email, but they're not using and not delivering, what do? Right? That's the, and on retention too. Let's say you want to get a testimonial, but they open the emails, they click, and they just forget to give you a testimonial. What do you do next? So that's all the things you have to think about. The gaps too. I won't really touch on them here, but yeah, just so you get the idea of how much emails you should build. And next, we have the high ticket service, right? You have a low ticket, you have a high ticket, and all of these, sorry, let's do duplicate, and all of these are the same here, right? So you have to do all of these emails. So if we zoom out on everything, see how many emails we have to do, see how many automations you have to insert. And we just gave 2 examples, right? Maybe you have even more lead magnets. Maybe you have 5 lead magnets. Maybe you have 5 conversion mechanisms. Maybe you're doing different events, different sales calls. And maybe you have even different products, maybe different groups. So all of these is a lot. So what do you do and how you set it up? First of all, we talked already what is horizontal. So horizontal would be going through that like this, right? We're not talking about the traffic sources because it's not really relevant to us. So we will be this, building all the emails on Skool, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the delivery step. Then the lead magnet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's happening is rest of the steps are waiting. So what's horizontal? What's vertical? Vertical is going like this, right? So you build only the essential stuff on the first stage, only the essential stuff on the opt-in page, then on the conversion mechanism, and then on the product. So how does it look like? So let's say, for example, the first step would be, to pinpoint your funnel, right? So let's take myself, for example. Let's say I have YouTube, right? You're watching this video on YouTube, maybe you want to move then to my Skool and check out my lead magnet. So my Skool would be the opt-in stage. And let's say I'm doing sales calls, right? I want to sell you something, so I have a sales call. And when I'm selling on sales call, yeah, let's say high ticket service, right? So what does it look like? It's 1 and 2, right? So that's my linear path. That's the vertical funnel that I'm going to focus on. And let's give another example. Let's say I'm doing IG, say I'm doing ManyChat, and I'm running people to my first lead magnet, and the lead magnet ends up with my webinar, and then I'm selling my low ticket membership on the webinar, right? So once again, this is a clear path that goes down. I don't have to build lead magnet 2, and I don't have to build Skool for this. I pinpoint what is working currently for me. And how I do that is I'm looking at numbers. So if you're moving from another platform, you have to know where are you getting your most revenue from, right? So if that's the path, build that path first and add more stuff and more layers later, and then move to another vertical path, right? So let's say I'm building this one. Let's pinpoint the emails that I need. So for Skool, and I mean, for every lead magnet, the first and most essential email that you want to have is the delivery, right? That's the most important thing, and you have to have it, right? But I also like to add the next step to the delivery. So it would be combined. Because once again, if I'm just delivering and not moving people to the next step, then there is a big enough gap that nobody would even get to your conversion mechanism. So I would add the delivery and combine the next step together for starters, right? That would be the first thing that I do. Next, we move on to the sales call, right? For the sales calls, from my experience, what I found out, the reminders is the most essential thing. Without the reminders, people just skip calls. And obviously you can do it without, you can even completely skip the step completely if you do sales calls, for example, because Google got you covered, right? But still, I do like having my reminders, and that's what I do. So for me, I would build the reminders, right? So I start from the delivering, which would be, hey, thank you for joining my group. That's all the things that you can do. And book a call with me. Then I build the reminders for the call. So when they book, I have the reminders, right? So they show up to the call. Next, when it get to the product, once again, the confirmation is the most essential part. So they book the call, they buy on the call, and they get the confirmation, right? So very simple. From going from 1 to 10 emails here, 9 emails here, and let's say, I don't know, 7 emails, I went only to 1 to 4 emails. I completely reduced and shrunk all the work I should do up front. So right now what's happening is I don't have to wait till I build this and then add this and all of the emails. I can get people in my funnel and I can just push people to it and actually test it. So what happens next is the testing stage. Is when they join, I start seeing what are the problems. So let's say people join. Let's say I deliver the stuff, the thing, it is super good, and they take the next stage without overthinking, right? It's natural. So for me, it's not a problem. And there is no need to build this and this. That's not the problem for me. The problem for me is that I'm not really good at sales calls, right? I hop on a call and I can't really sell them anything. So I'll build this instead, right? That would be more important for me to get them either on a second call or just to sell them through the email after. So I'd focus on these, knowing that not a lot of people buying and I don't really need to deliver or to add retention for these people. So once again, I will focus on this first. After I got this, I have two options. I get more people in and I got to analyze the stuff. I see that it helped. Cool, people are now buying, but nobody is leaving a positive review. So I'm focusing on retention. I will send them more content. I will ask them to give feedback, to share their testimonials, right? And yeah, these kind of things. So right now, instead of, again, building the entire thing, I'm just nailing these parts. Let's say then I want to improve the nurture. Let's say then I want to do the next steps. I figure out the gaps, the canceled, and one by one, I'm building the entire funnel. And right now, when I've got the automations, I decrease the amount of places where people can fall through the gaps, and I increased my click rates and conversion rates. I'm ready to move to the second path, right? When I finish with this one, and it's working well, only now I'm adding the second part, right? Obviously, a big disclaimer for it is if you're moving through platforms and you have multiple opt-in steps, then I would create them simultaneously. So you have lead magnet, you have the Skool, I would create a delivery for this. You have the lead magnet 1, I would create a delivery. Lead magnet 3, I would create a delivery. But I won't focus on the rest of the things at first. Then when I pinpoint and I got one funnel, I only then move to the second one, right? And of course, you can do that. It's not a rule of how you do this and how you should do. Once again, when I get to these things, sometimes I jump between both, right? Sometimes I build the essential funnel right here, and then I start building and improving the second one. But for me, it's not really overwhelming. It's not a lot of pressure, and I feel confident in doing that. For people that are new to it and just setting up for the first time, it could be confident. It could be not confident, sorry, it could be hard and confusing. So what I'm highly advising, or if you maybe have some deadlines and you have to finish only one thing, then just build one and focus on one and only improve one and move to the another one only when you're ready. So that's how I would do that. That's actually how I do that, how we did it last month with another creator. We have bunch of lead magnets. We had like 5 or 6 lead magnets. We first figured out the opt-ins and then we started building. So we wanted to add a sales call, so we build a reminders. I did not build a schedule. I did not build this post-event stuff. I only build the reminders. And because we haven't got people through the funnel yet and we did not get any sales, I only added the confirmation email. So when they will be, then I'll add. And if I'll need something else, I'll just do that manually and then I'll automate it later, right? So that's my thinking process. That's how I do that all the time. And that's how I would advise you to think about it. So it's less overwhelming. Once again, instead of building 10, 15, 20 emails, you go with 5 and then you add on top and you add based on data. So that's how I do that. So once again, that's exactly my process. First of all, pinpointing the funnel, finding out what exactly I need, and then adding the very essential automations. So it's the delivery for the lead magnet, maybe the reminders for the sales call, for the sign up, for the webinar. Yeah, probably it would be the sign up too. And lastly, the confirmation email, right? Very important. And only then I start on adding more based on data. So when I see lots of people falling through a very specific gap, I would fix that. And then I would add more. And then I would support this gap with another automation, right? The gaps automation. But only when I won't have any more gaps. I won't put all of my effort into one layer, leaving my next two just completely blank, right? So that's how I will do that. And if you're wondering what I'm sending to those people, you can watch my next video. In it, I'm showing why sharing value and giving too much information actually hurts your sales and how less value actually moves people through your funnel. So go and watch that next.